Hello. Back on our home turf of New York City.
Nice to be home.
The One virus spreading across America. What?
My God.
Didn't we just land?
This sure screwed up my sleeping hours.
Just a little bit.
It was pretty nice to do afternoons for a little while there, for a couple of days. I'll tell you, God damn, is that nice just waking up whenever the hell you want. You don't have to be to bed early, like an infant. I feel like I'm 7 years old again and have to go. I have my Betty by time, so you can get up for school. Anthony, time for bed. It's 7:30. It was like when I was a kid. And I'd be, can't I stay up and watch Ronan Martin's Laughing?
All I know is we touched down in Newark. Got back to New York City.
Mm-hmm.
It was 5 o'clock, and I was just watching the clock until it turned to 8 o'clock so I could go to bed. I made it to 7:20 and said, screw it.
Wow, 7:20.
So then I go to bed at 7:20, and I hear people coming into my building because, they probably worked late. Getting home from work a little later than usual. And I'm just like...
People coming home from work, and you're sleeping.
I'm already in bed for the night. Getting pissed off at them because they're open. You could hear the door opening on the front of the apartment, and they're going up the stairs, stuff like that. And they have every right to just walk up the stairs at 7:20.
Sleeping.
It's not like it's 4 in the morning and someone's coming home drunk and obnoxious. They're just coming home from work.
Coming home from a hard day's work.
But it drove me nuts because I'm like, don't they understand it's Betty by time?
Betty by.
It's Betty by time.
Well, I had the opposite problem.
I just couldn't imagine staying up any later than that yesterday after all the traveling. I
had the opposite problem. I couldn't get to sleep because I didn't wake up early. Unless I'm up at 4:30 or 4:15 or whatever the hell it is every morning, I can't get to sleep that night. So I woke up probably 9 o'clock in New Orleans before we left. Car was outside at like 9:30, so I got every minute sleep I could. And that was it. I didn't get to sleep until after 11.
Yeah, a quick observation. I did get up early yesterday and decided to grab my cup of coffee and get one more look at Bourbon Street.
Ugh.
First of all, the day after Fat Tuesday, it's a completely different street.
Yep.
It is spotless. There's no sign of puke, beads,
no
scum,
stench.
Nothing. It is, I don't know, they got that down pat.
No people.
No people. Look like a completely different street, right?
Yeah.
So I walk about 2 blocks from the hotel, like I did every morning with my coffee, just kind of getting, waking up and going for a little walk. I got accosted like within 15 to 20 feet of the hotel by undesirables. The
Really?
undesirables just, take over the neighborhood after everyone leaves after Fat Tuesday.
After?
That is a dangerous, dangerous road when Mardi Gras is not going on.
Yep.
I made it 2 blocks and realized, you know what? I better get back to the safety of the hotel immediately.
Undesirables.
All the bars were closed. Everything
Yeah.
was boarded up. There were just street cleaners still, or actually building owners or their workers just scrubbing the fronts of their building. That's all that was going on. There was no sign that there was just a huge party for the last week or so.
Well, it seems the undesirables, they get started a little early before it ends because me and Jimmy saw just, it made me retch. We're up on the balcony of the hotel last night. It's a few hours before they clean the streets off and send everyone home, I guess. So we're, throwing beads off the balcony. And across the street from the hotel balcony, there's about 12 or so black gentlemen standing against the wall. And people are walking by on the sidewalk, and they're standing against the wall on the sidewalk. And when other black gentlemen would walk by, they'd kind of shake hands with them, little hand jive gesture things there. Black chicks would walk by if they were hot. They'd grab ass on the chicks and they'd spin around and yell at them, "Don't touch me," and they'd laugh, send them on their way. Then we noticed when Whitey walked by, a white guy or a white chick or God forbid a couple walked by, they would smack them in the head, knock their hats off their head, molest the girls, like feeling their tits, grabbing ass, grabbing crotch of the girls. And God forbid the guy turns around and tries to stand up for his girl's honor and says something. Because we saw this one guy, he turned around to one of these black guys with his shirt off, just like drugged out of his mind, and said something like, put his hands up and went, what's up? What are you doing? The black guy just hauled off and cracked him right in the face. All of them start laughing. The one guy that punched him runs away now. He doesn't even stay there. The guy staggers into the wall that he hit, almost goes on his ass. He kind of kept it together and walked away. And then they're just laughing their asses off, doing this to white guys that are walking by. Only the white guys. They're smacking their hats off their head, and guys were turning around and going, what's up? And the guy squares off like he's going to hit him, and he's got all his buddies with him. So one white guy, what's he going to do, Got to back down. Got to get his ass beat. Got to get punched in the face. So this went on for a good 40 minutes or so, I guess.
Yeah. You guys were watching this whole thing from the balcony?
We stopped Palm Beach.
Didn't you tell me that they were making out with the guy's chicks, too?
One guy comes by, and he's with this drunk whore. They're both white. And somehow the black group on the corner gets them divided, and they were just grabbing girls' arms and pulling them and hugging them and groping them and humping them. And the guy tries to, the guy's drunk too, so he kind of loses the girl. And they're probably 5-6 feet apart from each other, but the black gentlemen have positioned themselves where they could no longer see each other. And the girl's just being felt up. The black guy starts making out with the chick. She has no idea where she is. She's like annihilated, snotted drunk. And then they start smacking the white guy around. So finally he wakes up a little bit, notices where the girl is, and tries to pull her away. And the one black guy has got her by the arm, and just it's a tug of war with the guy's chick.
That's amazing.
Unbelievable. The savagery that was going on that corner, and from what I hear, other corners, this is kind of a thing that's known. It happens. The black youth, a black gentleman in New Orleans over there at Mardi Gras just harass white people. It's just this racial thing that goes on. And I got to tell you, from the balcony, you look down, and it's very hard for the word nigger not to come out of your mouth. I'm not the guy that throws the word around. I don't throw it around when people are going to work in the morning. I'm not like that.
You don't throw it around while we're broadcasting anyway.
When we're broadcasting anyway, right, Opie? No, you know something?
You're the worst.
I would say 99.9% of white people don't throw that word around when you just see a black guy. People are under this misconception that if you see a black person, you're going to throw that word around, because there's such rampant racism in this country. No, it's not true. It isn't. We have plenty of black friends that come up here. We have black friends out of the show and stuff. You don't use the word to them. But when we were watching that, they're acting like niggers. And that's what the word that comes out of your mouth. Why? Because maybe they should kill someone before you use racial slurs and epithets like that. They were being judged on the content of their character. And that word was the only word I could use at that moment to describe their actions at what they were doing. And until stuff like that changes, that word ain't going nowhere. Ain't going nowhere.
All I kept thinking watching it is Bernie Getz is a hero.
Yeah.
If I had a gun,
enraged.
I would have started shooting for those other people.
Right.
It was that bad, huh?
It was so
enraging
to watch. You could not fathom how pissed we were getting watching this. If they were smacking black guys walking by, you know something? I probably wouldn't have had that big a deal about it if it was white and black guys.
Right.
Because then it wouldn't have been racial. It would have been these guys are angry sons of bitches that are looking for a fight. You ever see an Irish guy at a bar that's just looking for a fight, and he doesn't care who the hell steps up to him, and it's usually his brother or cousin or something?
Are you talking about the black Irish?
No, I'm just talking about the Irish, Opie. The Irish, or a drunk Italian at one of those Brooklyn Dago bars that are just looking for a fight, and they don't care who it is. You know something? I'll stay out of their way, and I got no problem with that. But these sons of bitches were just out for Whitey. They were just at. It was a race crime. It was racially biased hate on these guys' part, and it had nothing to do with anything but here's white guys. Let's get ours now today. Let's make up for 400 years or something. There at Mardi Gras. So after about 40 minutes or so of watching and just getting pissed off as all hell, we notice in the crowd about 4 or 5 cops are working their way over, and they're looking up at the balcony above us and pointing at the wall and trying to get some kind of acknowledgement of where the problem was. And then they finally get a line on it, and the cops run over, grab a lot of these guys, and grab the one that really was belting people in the face. Just grab him by the back of the head and smash his face into the wall. And that's when I lost my voice. I'm just screaming, "Have fun in jail, you motherfucker!" I'm screaming. And this guy didn't put up a fight when the cops were there. He's belting drunk white people and groping their drunken girlfriends walking down the street. But when big bull cop comes over and smashed his face against the building, he sure shut up lickety-split, didn't he?
And these cops down in New Orleans, man, they don't put up with
Nope.
anything.
And there was about an 8-year-old, 9-year-old boy with them that was grabbing girls' crotches, taunting people, smacking people in the head. He's 8 or 9 years old, and here he is growing up with this fine leadership, showing what it's like to laugh as they pop Whitey in the face.
I've never felt more like an old man in my life. When those cops came over and Anthony is screaming, "Spend the night in jail," and we're all yelling, "That'll show you." We're just like old people.
I think I shook my fist.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn!
Yeah, you should be in school, shouldn't you? It was awful. Meanwhile, 12 hours ago, one of my closest friends is pelting a 90-year-old man on a little rascal with beads, and I'm cheering and laughing.
Hey, man, that story is getting a little out of hand, by the way. I gently tossed him because thinking he wanted to be part of the festivities.
Yeah, no,
that's
you
all.
did gently toss him from the second-floor balcony across the street. Yeah, it was a very gentle toss. Randy Johnson, you whizzed him and you hit him in his head, and he turned to the left, and he was hurt and upset and embarrassed.
Certainly was.
You're making more of it than it was, Jimmy. And
No,
the
I'm
message
not.
boards are going crazy about the story, and I want to defend myself. I figured that everyone down below us they were all equal.
Fair game. See,
they were
that's
all
what
equal
we
in
do.
my eyes.
That's how we operate. Equal opportunity.
I don't see skin color like Anthony.
We didn't care who we pelted.
I don't see gender. I don't see handicaps. To me, everyone is equal down below when I'm throwing my beads.
Everyone's a victim.
Everyone is deserving of some Mardi Gras beads, is what I thought.
Just pelt the public.
Yeah, I just noticed that when you hit the 80-year-old man on the little rascal, that was the one time you didn't turn around and duck behind the. Cause we would throw something and then hide behind the thing because we're cowards. But as soon as tough ass hit the 80-year-old man, the little rascal, he just stood there and openly laughed. Because what's the guy going to do? Get up and
You're
You're
going to do?
such a liar.
Crippled old man.
Turn his head.
You're such a liar.
But no one beats Ben. No one beats Ben. Sure, you hit old people, but Ben's lobbing beads at infants in carriages.
Aiming at them.
Oh!
Was he aiming at them?
Of course he was.
All pissed off that their little head, proportion to the body, was bigger than his little infant head.
You'd see a baby carriage and you'd see beads flying down towards it. You'd hear
The baby's in the carriage herkying and jerking in similar fashion. Little balled up fists.
You know, we got to talk really fast about this. So we're there for Fat Tuesday, obviously, and it's getting close to midnight. And what are you doing?
Sorry, just cleaning up.
Cleaning up what?
He's coming over on Opie's side.
Are you insane?
He's a mad person.
You're trying to clean up my OCD? Are you insane? Go see my apartment right now. Try to clean that up. Because I can't figure it out.
There's a lot of mouse shit that needs cleaning.
I thought you had a housekeeper.
Cleaning up. This is organized chaos right now. I know where everything is at this point.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch anything. Are you
Crazy.
insane?
He's a crazy person going over there. He's lost his mind being here alone for a few days.
Anyway, Fat Tuesday. And then there's a huge rumor that, midnight, man, you just want to be indoors. You don't want to be around when the cleanup crew comes.
When they hose down.
And we're all on balconies like, oh, no, they even shut the balconies down. They don't even want people, watching this whole thing that goes on at midnight. Remember, it was like a whole rumor that was just circulating, and everyone's like, is it midnight soon? Can I get another drink before midnight? Midnight. So then someone calls the strip club we were broadcasting from, the Crazy Horse. By the way, they were great to us. Yes. They were unbelievable to us. And they said that we could go up on that balcony to check up the cleanup crew at midnight and the cops and the horses. It's this whole spectacle that happens every year, right? So we think we're privileged. We're up at on the balcony of the Crazy Horse, and all of a sudden you see in the distance all this crazy lights, police sirens, and you could see that what looks like mounted, police on horses. You can't really tell yet because it's so far in the distance, but you know something's coming.
Yeah.
You're like, holy ass. And like we were saying, the Bourbon Street is just a river of people. You can barely move down there.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely this thing comes, and it's the cop cars with their sirens are going, and then you got the state troopers, and then you got the National Guard, it looked like, and the local police, and horses, and then the sanitation department, and dump trucks, and these water sprayers that were like unbelievable.
Yeah, spraying the street down.
They could have used the hoses to take care of that one situation you were talking about earlier, Anthony.
And they used to.
And then it occurs to me that this is just a show. Obviously,
yeah,
it's just a show.
Part of the show.
It's pretty much a chance to give the cops and everybody that is keeping New Orleans, pretty much under control
for the most part.
Yeah, it's their way of getting props for what they did all week or whatever.
The last parade.
It's the last parade, basically, because this incredible thing came by with the horses and the sanitation department and the huge hoses and the cops. And then everyone just went back in the street and started partying after they passed their section of Bourbon Street.
Yeah, you thought they chased everyone away, but no.
I think we missed that, dude. I think when I saw the street the next morning, I saw what Opie saw, which was an absolutely immaculate street.
Yeah.
For it to go from the chaos it was to that cleanliness, something happened.
Yeah.
We missed it. We went to bed a little too early. If we'd have stayed another hour, I bet you would have seen them really hosing it down and chasing people, because there was no reason for it to be that empty.
Yeah.
Unless they really booted everyone.
Jerry in Arizona has a little problem with me, I guess. I would love to.
No problem.
I guarantee he misinterpreted what you said.
Let's go to Jerry in Arizona. Jerry, what's up?
Hey, I want to talk to Anthony about dropping the N-word.
Yeah.
You want to be a real tough guy standing on the balcony there.
I didn't yell it out on the balcony. I was saying it. I was saying it to Jimmy.
Because you're a real tough guy on the radio.
It's not. No, dude.
You didn't go.
Jerry, it's not about. He's not talking about. What he was saying was that was the reaction you had watching it. He was saying that this is this base, angry reaction, and that's what he's saying. He's not. We don't throw the word around. Hey, this is what these guys were. That was the reaction you had watching something like that. Right. It was this base rage, and he was being honest about the feeling that you had watching it. That's what he was talking about.
Well, still, even though, man, you said, on the radio, that's what they were, and. That's what they was acting like. If that's the case, why didn't you guys go down there and, try to break it up,
Jerry.
Jerry,
let me address why we didn't go down there. Because we would have been killed. If we would have went down there to 12 black guys and said, excuse me, I think you're acting like a nigger, I believe we would have been stabbed and beaten to death. Jerry, do you think that's a smart thing to have done?
Okay, now does it matter if it was 12 black guys or 12 white guys? Or
the problem, Jerry, I know what you're saying, but the problem is they were just targeting white. It's amazing how race is looked at in our country. Anthony's talking about an honest reaction for something. We don't run around screaming, hey, look at these niggas. No one was saying that. It was just a reaction from watching it, and he was relaying that reaction, that base reaction.
You want to think of the worst possible way you can describe these people, the way they're acting, and that's it. I'm sorry. That's it.
And Jerry, let me make something perfectly clear. If it was 12 Girl Scouts down there causing problems, Anthony wouldn't have went down there either. So
yeah, exactly.
He wasn't leaving his spot on the balcony.
Well, Anthony wouldn't have, but Jimmy probably would have.
Dude, if you've listened to this show enough, you know that we don't. We don't talk like that on the air. It's not because we're not allowed to. It's just not the way we think. But in that case, it was just a base rage reaction, and they were targeting people just because they were white. We watched it happening. So it was
I listen to the show all the time. So
that's the first time you've heard that on this show, and it was a description of something that happened 2 nights ago.
Well, he says Ant's tough on the air, but didn't say it in person. You would have to be insane and suicidal to go down there and not even confront them or say anything. Walk past them.
Yeah.
If you're a white guy walking past these guys, you have to be crazy if you knew the situation. We were watching people walk by and just going, oh, no, look at this couple that's coming up. They're done.
Trying to move them with your mind?
Yeah. Please get off the street. Get into the street. Don't walk next to them. Go around. You don't know what you're in for.
But you see, that's a perfect example when you describe something like that and you give what the honest thought at that moment was.
It is honest.
and people react like, oh, that was a racist. No.
99% of the human population looking at that situation would have thought the same exact goddamn thing. Don't bullshit me. Would have thought the same thing. Why are you going to come up? You're not going to. Oh, I don't want to use that offensive word to describe one of the most offensive scenes you can possibly see.
Can you imagine if that was, and again, it happens in New Orleans all the time. Can you imagine if that was like 12 skinheads down there targeting only black couples and just, grabbing the women and accosting them and punching some of the guys in the face? It would have at least made the papers.
Would have been hate crime. They would have been arrested just like the black guys were.
Yeah.
But you know damn well the charges would have been a little different. It wouldn't have been simple assault or something like that, whatever they dragged that guy in.
Right.
Would have been one of those civil rights cases.
They're not gonna have anything on these guys though.
No, they won't, because the guy that
pretty much gonna
everyone they hit walked away.
The one guy they may have an assault on. If somebody else saw it, then maybe able to get the one guy for a basic assault.
They're probably released by now.
Let him go.
Right.
That's it.
Lock him up for 12 to 16 hours, and they're on the street again.
I'm sure he's
how are you
going to
prove
be
it?
a productive member of society somewhere down the line.
Unless someone just happened to have a video camera.
Yeah.
It is Mardi Gras. It can show the cops right on the spot. Well, this is exactly what he did. Everything is recorded down there. It's amazing. Henry in Florida. What's up, Henry?